Oh, hey everybody, happy Monday. I'm trying not to get everybody else in the background of my videos. I'm wearing my I went to India outfit. I went to India. Ganesh on a chain. When I came back and I got this in India, I went to Mace. I got a chain, a really thin gold chain. I hated that chain. It was twisting all the time. There's somebody in the background of my... Sorry, lady, you're in my video. Let's do this. Got a thin chain. It was always twisting. I couldn't get the clasp to close. Pain in my ass. And then trying to take it off one night at home, I snapped the chain. So, went to Macy's and got this one. And the wonderful salesperson at Macy's said, now listen, in a couple of days, there's going to be a sale. And if these are on sale, you can just bring this back and, get the discount and the refund and the exchange. Honey, they practically gave me this chain for free. I gotta love me some Macy's. I don't know how they stay in business. So, anyways, it is Monday. Last night was SleepOut NYC with my community, and thank you everybody again who donated. I more than reached my goal of $1,000. I got, right at this point, I'm at 1,085, and I'm still collecting. So, if you want to go back a video or so and find the link, feel free. It was, again, a very powerful experience, meeting residents of Covenant House. Now, let's be clear, Covenant House is not just a shelter for unhoused youth. And we're talking youth age, I think it's 16 to 25. It is a resource of what do you need? How can we help you get a life on track and work and permanent housing and education and whatever it is that you need through a million different services and things. And they're just, it's astounding. It was really a moving experience again. And as I had mentioned, I think, having done it last year, I knew that the actual sleeping on concrete part was not going to be fun. And in fact, it was not. And what was new this year was because I knew what it was going to be, there was a sense of dread of, I know how uncomfortable this will be. And again, I'm doing it for one night. I'm not thinking about, and what about tonight? And what about tomorrow night? And what about if it rains? And what about when it's winter? So it's an eye-opening thing, and as a community, it was lovely to be with my people. And I mean, we all acknowledge that within that, for us, it feels like a slumber party with, the Broadway and TV film community, while we're also saying, no, this is a very serious thing we're doing here. Two friends of mine were there, so I got to sleep. I slept with both of them. They're both married men. One is straight, one is gay. They both have husbands, and a husband and a wife. But I slept with them anyway. We were a throuple. That's what we're laughing about. So we had a good time. So anyways, didn't sleep much. Got home at 7 a.m. to two freaked out cats of like, why? The sun is coming up and now you're getting in the bed. Why? Prankus wouldn't stop meowing and yelling because like, I need to eat. I need to sleep and you need to shut up. So anyways, took a bit of a nap. Now I'm up, cleaned up. Where are you, Billy? I'm up at Lincoln Center. Look, there's the Lincoln Center Theater. This is the lovely fountain outside of it, the Grassy Knoll. Good drag king name, by the way, Grassy Knoll. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And look over there at the Vivian Beaumont Theater. There's signage that says what? Where is it? Ragtime. I'm about to go in and meet the wardrobe supervisor of Ragtime, the musical, which they did at New York City Encores and is now transferring to the Beaumont next month. My dear Brandon Uranowitz, who I dressed at Leopoldstadt, who thanked me on the Tony Awards, is doing it and has requested me as his dresser. So I'm meeting with the supervisor, and we'll see if this leads to a definite yes, which I kind of think it is going to, and I will let you know once I come out. But it's a supervisor I've never worked with. This is a theater I've never worked at. Way out of my neighborhood. I will have to either walk a ways up 10th Avenue to get here or take a goddamn bus or anything to get to work every day, which... I'm so spoiled, you know me. If my theater is more than 3 blocks from my house, I'm like, ugh, all the way up there. But as much fun as I'm having at Operation Mincemeat, having my own track would be nice. Because right now at Mincemeat for the next 3 weeks, I am doing a full-time track of one of the guys that I cover. And now that I did the whole weekend, and it went very well, I love that. I love having my track. I know what I'm going to be doing 8 times a week. And I love even more setting up a track, which I've done. I've originated tracks. Track meaning I do this, then I do this, then I do this. That's my track. That's what that wording means. Meaning that's what I do. And setting it up with with the supervisor, with your actors, with the stage specifications, where it's going to happen, being the person that says, okay, then I want to do it this way. I think we should do it this way. Is that okay if we do it that way? Can I have a chair? Can I have a hook over here? I need space on a rack there, to kind of be able to navigate that as the person in charge of how it's going to go for the run is wonderful. I love that. I've taken over a lot of tracks, and sometimes it's like, okay, I can't imagine why it is you decided to do it that way, but that's the way we're doing it now because it's your track. And even more so when I'm covering like what I'm doing right now, I didn't set any of this up and I'm only temporarily sitting in, so I can't redo it. All of which is fine, but I prefer my track. So we're about to find out if I will be doing my track with Brandon and likely many others on Ragtime the musical, which is a gorgeous show. I did get to see the concert version at City Center, and it's astounding, and it's timely, and it was the most beautifully sung production. So I really truly hope that within the next half hour or so I'm going to find out that I'm actually going to be part of it. So I'll update you when I get out. Yeah. I'm doing Ragtime with Brandon Uranowitz and others. As of yet, unspecified which other folks I will be taking care of. Wow. Terrific supervisor. We've never met. It's going to be delightful. I couldn't be happier. As I suspected, she was like, this is not an interview. This is just a get to know each other and is everything, do you have any questions kind of situation. So no questions. The only question I had was, will you need me before my vacation with noted lesbian Therese Hipkins wraps up in Provincetown? And it turns out, as I hoped, no, I would need you 2 days after you're back. So I get to finish out the track I'm doing at Mincemeat. I get to take my vacation with my sister the next week after that. I get to come home and breathe for 2 full days, and then I start right into tech here in the theater at the hugest fucking it's the 3rd largest stage in New York. I just found out. The Radio City Music Hall, the Met Opera House, which is there, and then this one. So, hallelujah! Onward and upward to the next adventure. I'm gonna go take a nap.